I've knocked on my view of Jon Favreau's Elf from 2003. So yes, we are back once again, ready to discuss another Christmas film on the channel. This time around, Elf. This is a film I've seen many times over the years, and I haven't actually discussed this film on the channel before. But first of all, there will be a spoiler warning for this discussion. If you haven't seen this film, I simply recommend seeing it first, and then come back to this video, and we can go from there. We can talk about this from the comments, and yeah, all things Christmas through cinema. And so yeah, with all that said, let's discuss my thoughts on this film. And yeah, this is one, we'll get straight into it. I do love this film. It's a Christmas film that I love watching. I've seen it many times, even just over the last 6-7 years. I've seen it most years around this time for Christmas, and it's a one that just, it's such a funny film. It's a comedy. Will Ferrell, I think in terms of Will Ferrell, it's probably one of his very best films that I've seen, and I just love this film. And as a Christmas film, it is one of my favourites. It's among my favourite kind of Christmas films, and just one that every time I see it, it just uplifts me for this period. And it's one that's really fantastical. When we have the North Pole kind of prologue sequence with Will Ferrell, Buddy, of course. Seeing how he grew up and how he was raised by elves, even though he's not a true elf. And of course, that whole kind of sequence there was just great. And I love the animation as well. Stop motion. The penguin and the whale as well. When he says goodbye to Buddy, good luck. And it's just really nice kind of moments like this, and it's really kind of childlike innocence to it. And then, Buddy, of course, as we know, kind of learns that he's not, a true elf, and he goes to New York to find his true biological father. When he finally arrives in New York, and he meets his true father, played by, of course, James Caan, Walter. This is when the film kind of changes up, and we have that initial meeting, obviously, with Walter and Buddy, and at first, Walter thinks it's a prank, and I just love the way James Caan plays this character throughout. It's a great performance, and the initial part where he kind of just thinks it's a joke, and then of course Susan Wells is mentioned, and it gets him a bit on edge there, and he thinks, how does he know this information, and who's kind of sent Buddy? And Walter soon kind of realises after this that Buddy is actually his son, and he kind of takes him in to his family, to his home, and he kind of stays with him, of course, and looks after him, and it all kind of goes downhill from there with Buddy, and kind of wrecking the place, and just annoying really James Caan's character of Walter throughout the film. And it's just, I think the way in which the narrative progresses, the way in which Buddy kind of at first, is quite irritating towards Walter, and he doesn't really accept him truly at first as his, his son, someone who just happens to be biologically related, is actually his son, but he doesn't really feel like a father to him. The way it kind of progresses, and actually over the course of the film, he does kind of accept Buddy as his son, and also into the family. And I think the way it's done is just so uplifting, and it's done in such a comedic way as well, that I just love this, and the way the kind of the characters are done. Walter is so great, and it's the way at first he's grumpy and everything, and he's just kind of quite quick to anger in that sense, and just the way in which at the end, that final act comes together, it's just really uplifting and nice to see, and it has a real Christmas spirit, this one. And the way that Walter in the end is actually kind of, he's changed a bit, or his former self in that sense has come back, and the Christmas spirit is kind of within him, and Buddy is one who's kind of instilled this in him, and he's kind of changed the way he thinks, and I think it's just a really great outcome, and I really love the way it flows. Of course, we've got Jon Favreau as well, a kind of cameo sequence. I really love that as well, and it's just a really nice sequence there of Buddy and James Caan, and that's the actual bit, of course, where we have the actual testing to see that if Buddy is truly his son, and obviously the outcome there is great. And not only that, but we do have a really uplifting romance in the film. Of course, Zooey, and she's a character who kind of Will Ferrell meets, in this film, played by Zooey Deschanel, and I just really like the way this unfolds as well, and the way they kind of go out on dates, and just in the end as well, really, in the final act, something I really love is how that comes together as well, the romance, and just how obviously they will sing as well at the end, and to bring the Christmas spirit back for Santa as well, and how the sleigh kind of rides across the crowd of people in Central Park, and I love that entire sequence, and it's just great comedy there, but also quite a magical ending. And we have the epilogue as well. We have Zooey and of course Buddy. They've got a kid at this point, and they go back to the North Pole, and to visit, of course, Bob Newhart, his character, and just really love the way that things are tied together, and I think how Santa as well at first is kind of shown in the film in the first kind of act, and then how he comes back for the final act, and to kind of once again sees Buddy, and it's really satisfying to see them interact again, and I just think it's really cool. How he kind of he's the one that kind of helps Santa Buddy, and he kind of once again brings the Christmas spirit back, and they fly over the crowd, and it's just so well written this, and Jon Favreau once again, great direction. I really love Jon Favreau as a director, and of course an actor and a writer, and I think this, and obviously we talked about recently as well Chef, and I just think he's so versatile, and I think this one it's just this real pure kind of family Christmas film, and comedy of course, and it's one of my favourite Will Ferrell films, and one of my favourite Christmas films as well, and I just think it's so well directed, and just really kind of unique film this. It's fantastical, it's out there, but it's never too much really for me, and I think a really nice tone in that sense, and I loved as well just various side characters. Faizon Love, the character he plays, that was absolutely hilarious. Just the interaction with him and Will Ferrell was great, and all his lines in the film, and his reactions, it's just so much fun, and when they're in the kind of store there, and just all of the kind of the way that's done, that thread, and I really like as well how in the final act with the kind of the singing, of course, we see various different characters that we've seen throughout the film just kind of crop up for that one scene there. We see them singing across the city, and it's just a really nice way to kind of end the film, and the kind of Christmas spirit, that feeling, it's kind of portrayed so well in this film. And so overall, my rating for this is a 91%. I absolutely love this film. One of my favourite Christmas films, and it's just such a hopeful kind of magical film, this, and so great to watch around the Christmas period. And I think the music in the film, not just the songs that are used, but the actual score is really uplifting as well, and quite epic in places, and just all of the characters really, and the romance, and the family as well, and the way it's all brought together in the end, and just how satisfying it is to see Walter and Jovi as well interact, and just all of the family coming together there, and the Christmas spirit, the way it's portrayed in this is just so great, and it's just such a unique kind of fantastical, quirky film as well, and as a comedy, it's just hilarious from start to finish, and I love the prologue as well as the rest of the film, and the way it kind of the tone is kind of done, and how at first it's quite different. Obviously, it's a bit more full-on fantasy, and then obviously the rest of the film really is quite grounded, and it doesn't kind of clash at all, and it's just so well directed and written, this film. I love Will Ferrell here. This is one of my favourite kind of Will Ferrell films and performances as well, and James Caan is just great in this film, and just all of the characters really, it's just so memorable, and just such an uplifting film, and one that really puts me in a great kind of mood, a great Christmas spirit of course around this time, and it's a film I've seen many times, as I've said, and it's such a magical film this, and hopeful, uplifting, funny, and creative as well, and just really consistent, this one, and from start to finish, I love this film, and that's my thoughts. What do you think on this? It'd be really great to hear your thoughts in the comments. Let's discuss this film, and talk about Will Ferrell, and how's it compare for you to different Christmas films as well, and I think it'd be great to discuss all this stuff in the comments, and celebrate cinema. So yes, as always, take care, and thanks for watching.